Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Working on the bug again. Okay, so you can see down here, it's a little dirty, grungy-ish. Oh, what I noticed right here. What's this? Oh boy. What is this? Is that where a push rod goes through? I don't know. I think it is. Somebody banged it. That sucks. Looks like they patched it up. I'm not going to touch it. It was running. But I'm going to change the oil. Alright. I'm going to undo that center bolt. Let it drain. Then I'll take the whole big round piece off and I'm going to change the whole screen. Because I do have a new one. Okay, so the dipstick is telling me it's full, but nothing came out. It's just dripping slow, so it's telling me that that filter's all clogged up. Maybe from sitting, I don't know, but I'll take all the bolts off and see what's going on under there. So I'm only getting slow drip and no oil. And like I said, it's been sitting a while. It's definitely been sitting for a while. And God only knows what I'm gonna find. This is not good. Put a lot of work and time and money in this thing, and it did run strong when I bought it, so it hasn't been sitting for that long. Let's see. Alright, so I went to change the oil on her, and what looks to be, jeez, it looks like fucking kerosene to me. Almost smells like it too. Was in the engine. This is the sludge that was blocking the oil from coming out, but then again, is it really oil? Because if you look here, it's like water and it smells like kerosene. So somebody put kerosene in the motor. I gotta look that up. Maybe they did that to store it, I don't know, but it's got me worried that she's not gonna run right now that once I change the oil. But it did run good and strong when I purchased her, so it's kind of weird. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'll update you. Alright guys, so the radio is next. I did just change the oil. It looked like kerosene in there. I don't know why, but the oil's changed. I didn't start it yet. I'm kind of contemplating what's going to happen when I start it, and hopefully everything's okay. But I'm going to put the radio in next. I actually just put the faceplate in. I had to use this, I call it a nibbler, air nibbler, and I used it to make the hole a little bigger. It was a little bit too small. Somebody like bent the metal and kind of rigged it, so I put it in the right way, trimmed it, made it a little bit bigger, and now I'm going to install the radio. I will be buying, I think I'm going to buy the speaker box over at AutoZone. It's $54. I do have speakers and tweeters, but I was looking at just buying an empty box, and the empty box is more money than an actual one that has speakers in it. Figure that out. So maybe down the road I'll build one on my own, but for now I'm just going to buy the speaker box that I saw at AutoZone. It looks pretty cool, so I'll pick that up today. Alright, so here goes the radio. Should be pretty simple. It should just slide right in. It has this little harness on the back of it. It's basically speakers, memory, hot, power, antenna, ground. So all these colors are your speakers. You got your blue is your antenna if you use it, an electric antenna. You got your hot, your ground, and your memory. This has a 10 amp fuse already in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook the wires onto this, and I'll run speaker wire. I'll show you what I got. It's just a little Jensen radio, right there from Amazon. I'll link it on my YouTube. It's an MPR 210. This is the radio. There's not much to it. It's pretty thin because there is no CD, there's no cassette, there's none of that. So it'll fit in nice. It won't take up a lot of room inside the trunk. I'll push that in, plug it in after I wire it up, and it should be good to go. I bought a speaker. I'll show you the speaker that'll be in the back. I picked up this little speaker. It's going behind the seats in the back of the car. It's called the Soundpex. Got it from AutoZone. Right here. Anybody who's interested. It was like $54. I did have speakers. I had some subwoofers and some tweeters that I was going to build my own box. But for now, I'm going to use this. I did look up boxes to buy. They were more money than this already done. So it wasn't worth me buying an empty box. So I bought this. We'll see how it sounds. If it's good enough, that's what I'm going to use. And I got speaker wire. So I have to route the speaker wire to the back. Set up the stereo. And I think at that point I'm probably going to put the battery in and test out some of the wiring that I did and hope this thing turns over. I bought, was 50 feet of wire, by the way, 16 gauge. I bought it at AutoZone as well. I was going to get it on Amazon. It is cheaper, but I would have had to wait for it. So for the extra $3, what's the difference? Okay, so all the wiring is on the driver's side right now, and the speakers I'm going to run on the passenger side, so they're not involved with the rest of the wiring. I did neaten up a lot of it, but I'm going to run the speakers on the opposite side. You can run it if it's any side you want, obviously, but I just figured it would be better to have them separated and wired up on this side. I'll give both wires extra room, and I'll just leave it tied up behind the speaker in case I need extra footage later on. Here's one of them. Make sure I got plenty of room. And then I'll pull it all back after I put it on. It's the basic radio connections right there. And I'll hook the wiring up now. See if I can get this thing running. Separate line for the ground. The rear speakers are going to be green, green and black, violet, violet and black are the two rear. The other ones I won't be using for now unless I decide to put speakers in the front. So the wires are very, very thin. Let's see if I have a ground wire I can use, and I'll hook that in. Okay, the ground I'm going to tie right into another line. Okay, so that's all the wiring for the radio. The remaining speaker wires, I'm going to just put one piece of tape over the end for now, hold them together, and if I decided to put front speakers or whatnot, I'll use it at that point. Right now, that's it. I'm wrapping each one in its own winding only because I don't want them to short out into each other. Ready to plug into the radio. I can pull back on some of this wiring. Here. I'm going to put the radio in, and then I'll see the length I need. Clips right in. And then I'll just plug it in. That's it. It's plugged. What I'm trying to do is keep the wiring. We have a door box here, so. And we also have the ashtray goes in. Let me see if I have the ashtray. Okay, so that's it. The stereo is hooked up. You can see it back there. It's pretty short. There it is in the dash. I put the two face plates on each side of the speedometer as well. I stuck them in. I didn't bend the tabs yet. I was actually thinking about painting them a different color, but we'll see. If anything, maybe the green or a silver or something, but right now they look good like that. So there you go. Radio's in. All the knobs are in. Now I'll have to test it out. It looks like the battery is next. I gotta make sure there's nothing shorting out on wires that I don't have finished yet. This is all the wiring for the lights. So as long as nothing's touching anything, it should be okay. That's the line for the license plate. And here's all the other side. As long as they're not touching anything, it should be okay. These, like I said, I forgot to order it. I want to order like a 1-inch loom, and I'll strap it up next to the steering column. You won't see any of that. Should be nice and clean. Oh, actually, what I'll do, maybe I'll hook up the speaker back here for now, just to make sure the radio does work when I put the battery in. Okay, so for the 2 speaker wires going to the back, I do have a 1/4-inch wire loom, and it should fit through there. Yeah, so I'll cover them with this 1/4-inch. I gotta start from that end, because it's gonna be tight. Plenty long, so I bring it all the way in. I'm gonna have to put some electrical tape around where it's done, because it's a little tight and it wants it back out of it. Just do that, and it won't be able to go anywhere. Okay, I got the radio speaker wire loom on, and it's a little bit longer than I wanted, but I'm gonna roll it up behind it and keep it long for now. And these are the ends. I'm gonna see if I can tin them so they don't spread apart. I think I have solder, and we'll check it out. See if I can do this hands-free. I hope this thing still has power in it. It's supposed to be instant hot. I don't want to touch it. It's getting hot. I think this thing takes butane in the back, so it may be empty. Doesn't seem like it's getting hot. I do have another one that plugs in, so I'll try that one. I'll try this one. Let that get hot for a minute. There it goes. Get the other wire. Okay, the wires are tinned. That'll just stop them from fraying on the ends and causing issues later. Tinned. Okay, I put the speaker in temporarily in there, and I hooked up the battery, and I guess we're gonna see if we get any juice. I made sure nothing was getting grounded out or shorted out. The radio has no antenna on it right now, so I don't expect to get music out of it unless I can find the antenna. Let's see if I can find it quick. Alright, so I did happen to have an antenna laying around. I laid it in the trunk, plugged it into the radio just to see if it'll work. I haven't tested anything yet. I want to put it on accessory, see if I can get the radio to go on. Oh, the little battery light's coming on. Nothing from the radio. Oil light's coming on. That's good. Oh, there's the radio. I can get WBAB. I'm not sure why it's not getting any volume, but all the lights are coming on. I'll see if the ignition even works, I guess. Should be in neutral. Shit, nothing. Hazards are working. Why no ignition? I'll have to check that out. That was the first try. Alright guys, so on the column is the ignition switch, and when I turned it, the car was dead with all the new wiring. So I had a replacement switch that I had bought a while ago, and if I unplug it and plug it into there, you'll hear she'll want to start. So obviously the switch in the column is no good, so I'm going to take it apart now, unbolt everything, and see if I can change the switch. So it's not one thing, it's another. Alright, so I took off the steering wheel. It was just 3 bolts, and then there was this cap. This washer was here, and then this just slides off the gear. It's that, and it looks like just 4 screws holding this on. And I'll take another picture for myself. You probably got to unplug everything from here. I already have the ignition unplugged, so I'll unplug the other 2. That's these 2 here. Get a little screwdriver, and we'll take off this mechanism here. Boy, this thing's all dirty. I'll have to clean that up before I put it back. I need a small screwdriver. This is still a little too big. Okay. And then this whole unit should come out nice and even. Just like that. Looks like this had some old hose on it that's broken, I guess for windshield washer fluid. I'll take that off because actually the two ends are good. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can with this thing. Just lay it right here. And now I'll take this, there's two screws holding on the ignition. If you can see that, I'll take a quick. Wow, that light's really killing it. Yeah, so those are the two screws that you gotta take out. Okay, so that's out. And now this, I think you have to put the key in to get it out. Okay. And this is this piece of foam that's just falling apart in my hands. I don't know what that's for. But okay, there it is. This is the switch that's giving me a hard time. I believe it is a little mini screwdriver on the side of it. You take that out and it should slide out. So let's see if I have that. I'll clean a lot of these contacts too because it could be an issue. Let's see if I have a little screwdriver. Okay, so once you remove that screw, I actually just took it out, you know, pretty far, and there she is. It comes right out. I don't know what broke on here, but oh, there's a crack in it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a crack right there. So let's see if I can get this one in. So it's the same. I see my switch is a little different. Alright guys, so I ground all the tabs off of it, and it fit right in after that. So hopefully it fits into the body of the steering column. Okay, so I ground off some of the tabs that were all around this thing to make it look like the old one. And the old one, it didn't have any tabs on it. So once I got rid of the back tab and that big piece on the front, I was able to slide it in. I actually had two of them. I did it to both. I have it right here. I put the newer one in because the other one I was using a screwdriver on to try to figure out what was wrong. So I didn't want to use that since I wore it out a little bit with the screwdriver. So I put the newer one in. It's in already. I put the two screws that hold the lock in place back. And now I'm going to slide this back in. Nice and even. And then tighten this up. Okay, that's back. And I'll tell you what, I'm learning a lot about these cars. There's a lot involved. What I'm going to do is I'm going to emery this and clean it before I put everything back. I'm going to clean up back here, and I'll be back online again. Alright guys, so I changed the tumbler, put it all back in. I don't know if I mentioned I had a grind around it. It was white plastic, the switch, to make it fit in here, but I got it to fit. Seems to be nice. Got it all in, put the screws in. This slid in 4 screws. I tightened them up. What I want to do is see if I can find a little something to clean off this contact. It's all dirty. So I'm going to clean that off. Then I'll finish putting the steering wheel on, and I'll try to start it again and see what happens once I plug everything back in. Okay, I got a piece of steel wool, and I'm just going to rub it on there a little bit and clean off this contact because it looks very, very dirty. So I want to clean it up. Crusty. Steel wool makes it look nice. Next is this piece. I'm going to get a little white too. This thing's actually got a break in the wire. I'm going to have to put a little piece of tape if I can get it on there. Spider web. And this side actually wore out a spot. I'm going to try to turn it in a spot where it doesn't have to contact the two contacts. If I can get it to maybe like right here. I know when the wheel's turning it's going to hit, but straighten the wheel right there. Straighten the wheel, and it's just supposed to be the top. says. It's not the best spot for that. That's why it's worn out. You know, I'll have to do. See if I can put something over this. A little piece of tape. Just put a little piece just to stop it from shorting out. It looks like this piece was on there. Somebody had tape on it so it doesn't move, which I guess is a good idea, but